It's a podcast about knitting and crocheting and supposedly cross stitch. And I also told myself I would learn how to sew this year, but that hasn't happened. Anyway, welcome. Anyway, it's a fiber friend podcast, and I am your host. I am the owner and dyer behind Goosey Fibers. My name is Kate, and you can find me here or on Instagram. I think it's Goosey_Fibers, and on Ravelry, Goosey Fibers. Be my friend. That's actually why this podcast started, was because we are still, I guess, new in town, and we haven't made any friends. It's a tough town to break into, so I decided to make friends online who share interests common with me, like knitting. So yeah, join me on any platform you feel like. Oh my god, also gooseyfibers.com. It's a website I've been working on. It's my own little .com. I'm really proud of it. We do need to update it a little bit this weekend. And also, if you go there, you can join my mailing list, which I like. I just sent out my first sort of missive, just sort of updating on life lately and what I've been working on, both in the shop and just personally, what I've been knitting. And also, if you're a newsletter subscriber, you get exclusive coupons, which I just sent one out to my subscribers. So, oh my god, so lame. Anyway, you're catching me at an interesting time. I am hungover. I had my cousin, who's also just one of my dearest friends in the whole wide world. She and her amazing kids, her daughter and her new baby son, they stopped by yesterday, and it was supposed to just be like an hour visit, but we had a big old wine bottle. And my husband is awesome, and he just loves kids. So he took all the kids. He took Goosey and her daughter and her son, and played with them all day. And we got like this whole girls' day. Sorry, I'm very sore, so I'm just sort of moving around a little bit. Anyway, so we had a whole day to just sort of catch up and have a great time together. I love her so much, and it's just so good to see a friend. And I mean, we're the same age. I think there's only like 4 months between us. So I've literally known her, or she's known me her whole life. She's older. And so it was just great hanging out with her. But we did have a lot of wine, and I have not had a lot of coffee today. And so I'm in rare sorts. Or maybe I'm just, this is, now that I think of it, how you always see me, just very weird and either under-caffeinated or over-caffeinated. This might be your first experience of me hungover. You're welcome. I'm sure I'll be able to really just stay true to any one thought pattern with how I feel today. No. So yeah. Let's just get to talking, I guess. Anyway, so my cousin was over, and after she left, there's a big town fair happening, not in our town, but the next town over, Marshfield. It was a really cool fair, so we went there. I love a town fair. I'm a real sucker for them. And why can I not sit like a human being? What is happening to me? Okay, hey, that's better. I put a pillow under my butt. Yeah, we went to the Marshfield Town Fair, where we ate nothing but junk food. I had a couple of fried pickles, because I'm on a diet, and that's healthy. And then I had some French fries with oil and vinegar. And August got a soft serve with sprinkles. So I think we're setting some good examples across the board. Yeah. he's still too little. He's actually tall enough to go on most of the rides, but he's only 2.5, so we didn't take him on any rides. But we got to play. We got to go pet the cows and the horses from the 4-H club, and pet some sheep and goats. And there's this really, really beautiful fluffy sheep that August was like telling everybody who would listen that mama paints yarn. So I don't know, I guess he was associating the sheep with my business, which is really cool, and good on him. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. It's actually been a hard couple of weeks emotionally, just in my country in general. There's been a lot of difficult things happening, and I had all these show notes to talk about it, but honestly, I'm just burnt out, and I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard to just be nice to other people, but I guess some people have a hard time with that. Yeah, and don't be a Nazi, I guess. That's really, I'll just, what I came here to say. Be nice, don't be a Nazi. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it much beyond that. I'm disappointed. But yeah, that's been taking an emotional impact. I think it's probably on a lot of people. It's been a hard couple of weeks, or it was like a hard week. And so I really sort of had to work to break out of the doldrums. And so this past week, August and I have sort of been breaking up a routine a little bit, and almost every morning going to the beach. There's this really cool beach in Plymouth. It's super close to us. It's called Nelson Street Beach or Nelson Memorial Park or something like that. If you're in the area, on a weekday morning, you'll probably see us there. It's got a really cool splash pad with like just water spraying out of all these different fountains for the kids. And it's right on the beach. So you walk off of that and you can just walk onto the beach and go into the water. So it's been really cool. We've been doing that a lot. So I tire him out and I bring him home and put him down for a nap, and you know, the beach makes anybody tired, so he naps great this past week. And while he naps, I get to work. I do a bunch of work, and I work in the afternoons, a little bit in the evenings, but not too much, and early mornings. So my schedule's shifted and it's a little bit busier now, but I think we're just generally happier just having stuff to do every day, something to do, or at least most days. It's really helped a lot. Yeah, and let's see, what else? On the weekends, we've been sort of exploring some of the neighboring towns. So last weekend, we went into Duxbury, which is another town right near us. It's a really fancy town. I guess it's called Deluxebury. I don't know. That's what my son's speech therapist told me. And it's nice. I see why locals call it that. It's real fancy. And they have a French bakery in town. So we went there, and it was these macarons, which I actually didn't have, but August had a tartlet that he loved, and I had just like the most amazing sandwich. It was just it was like a ham and cheese sandwich, but on French bread, and instead of mayo, they use butter, and I forgot how much I love that combo. Oh my God, I'm hungry right now. Yeah, it reminded me, when I was in high school, when I was 15, so sophomore year, one of my really dear friends did overseas studies. So she went to our sister school in Paris, and she came back the following semester, and she was all like speaking with the French accent, which is so like, okay. But she made a really big deal, I remember, about every day for lunch, instead of like just having a sandwich, she had a French bread buttered sandwich. And she would tell everybody, she's like, oh, the French don't use mayo, they use butter. And I remember thinking she was so pretentious. I loved her for it, but I was like super pretentious. But now I get it. It's so good. I'm just gonna slab some butter on some bread after this podcast is over. Really good. So if you're ever in Deluxebury, look for a French bakery. It's super good. There's always a lot of bikers, and not bikers, like bicyclists, not motorcycles. Bicyclador, what, I don't know, whatever my husband calls them, you know, and all their bicycling get-ups, which always make me laugh. I don't know how men wear those bicycling outfits. Like, all the power to them, but like, I can see everything, and it's embarrassing. Like, I don't want to see every bit of someone's anatomy before I even know their name. But whatever, it's an eyeful. That can be fun too. What am I talking about? Oh my, am I really talking about anatomy? Okay, let's get back on topic, shall we? I don't know what that had to do with anything. What am I laughing at? Anyway, we've just been breaking up our routine and doing things a little bit differently lately, which has been a good time. That's all I'm trying to say. When life gets you down, go look at men in bicycle outfits. Okay, I need to get back on topic. I'm just going to do a really fast shop update right now because it's just easier. I have been doing a lot of new colorways because I recently added a Goosey advent calendar to the shop. Have the giggles. And so those are shipping out in the beginning of November. I listed about 150 calendars, and I think there's only 29 left, which is so cool. And thank you everybody if you bought one or if you're thinking about buying one. They're on pre-order probably through the end of September. Yeah, maybe even into October. I haven't decided fully, but for at least another month you can buy one. And you get 25 20-gram skeins, different colorways, but I want them to all go together. Yeah, and you can either get Goosey Sock, Goosey Sparkle, or a combo of the two. So I've been working on that, coming up with I've been coming up with exclusive colorways just for that club, which some of them I might keep for after the advent calendar is released, but a lot of them are just going to be for the club. And that'll be it. Anyway, it's really cool. I'm so glad you guys seem really interested in them. Thank you very much. So I've got that going. I've been restocking. So this is Rowena in Goosey Squish. That was running really low. So that's back, restocked in the shop. This one's still a little damp. Need to put that back. I had to restock some halos because those were running low. So right now, restocked is Rowena. Isn't it so funny how different it looks on like regular yarn and mohair? It really like dissipates, but sort of like whatever word I'm trying to say for that. That's what it does on mohair, which I just think is so pretty. It's so delicate. Diffuse. It diffuses on mohair. Ugh, but I love it. I'm dying. I need to use this. I might steal this one for myself. So I did it on Rowena. I did some umbrage. I did pensive. So those, oh, and I did Wizarding Wheezes, which I actually caked up. This I'm going to use in the Penguono. I want to do Penguono by Stephen West. It just looks, it looks like nothing I'm attracted to typically for myself. I usually go for myself, very earthy tones. I don't know, very repeating pattern, kind of like, I don't know, just sort of more, not flashy. I don't really dress flashy in colors or in patterns, but the penguin one just looks fun. And Stephen West is so brilliant at writing patterns that just really keep your interest the whole way through. I love that. And so it just looks like a romp of a knit. Like, it just looks great. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start working on that pretty soon. So this is Wizarding Wheezes caked up in my halo base, which is 70% mohair, 30% silk. So it's super puffy and soft and amazing. Oh, I love it so much. Anyway, so I restocked those. I restocked from my Princess Bride collection, Unemployed in Greenland on Goosey Sock. That was also running low. I restocked on Sparkle, Wrinkle in Time, because that, can you see the sparkle? It's amazing. I restocked Half Moon Bay in Goosey Squish. It's really pretty blues and greens all mixed together. Love it. And lastly, oh wait, no, not lastly. I also restocked Pris on Goosey Sock from my Blade Runner 3 set. And I restocked Hedwig on Goosey Sock, which is, yeah, from Harry Potter. You should know that. I just love it. This was actually one of my awesome customers inspired this one. She sent me a picture of her favorite picture of Hedwig, and she was like, is there any way? And it doesn't really, it just inspired it, you know, like it's not, I didn't try to recreate the colors exactly, but just sort of what it made me feel. I'm a very feelings-based person as opposed to literal, like taking colors out of pictures. It's more what that picture inspires in me. It sounds like a funny thing to say, but that's how it works for me. I know some dyers like to just take colors directly out of images, like, because that's how they're inspired, but I work a little differently. So this is my Hedwig. I love it. I love it. I love it. This might have to be another Goosey sweater down the line, because I also want to make Goosey a sweater in Half Moon Bay. I want to make him Playdate by Tin Can Knits. They do this also in a toddler size. How freaking cute are these kids? Ugh. So those are my restocks. I have actually, I'm just gonna show you a little just a little bit of what is on my racks right now. This is just a tiny, these are all new colors that I'm either keeping in the shop or not. Some of them will make it, some of them won't. There's a bunch. This is such a small sampling of what is in the shop. This one's fun though. Yeah, I've just been going kind of nuts, just making new recipes, coming up with some new stuff. I also wanted to start doing some new colors in tweed, because I love my tweed base. It's fingering weight. But yeah, none of these are named. None of them are skeined. They're not even dry. So I don't know why I brought these over other than just show you. It's been busy. I've also been restocking my art blanks, which I think I told you about last time. Let me just show you how I end up keeping art blanks for myself. Why that might happen. Because I have a bunch in my personal stash that don't make it into the shop because of things like this. It's like just big enough spills that I just can't sell it. So I end up with all of these art blanks for myself that I just have piling up because I am the biggest friggin' klutz on earth. I spill everything. I don't know what is wrong with me, why I cannot just like not just like go like that and spill something, but it happens every time. Oh God, that's bad coffee. Yeah, there's a million sock blanks down here that are just for me. My husband's constantly like accusing me of doing it on purpose so that I can keep something for myself and be like, oh, I can't possibly sell it. But I really am not. Like, I don't knit fast enough to keep up with the sheer quantity of mistakes I make. But there you go. I got myself a new sock blank. So that's it for shop update. I just wanted to do it real fast. And then I have just sort of projects or let's do enabling. I guess shop update to enabling. That should go nice and smooth, right? I had to grab my couple of things of enabling. Anyway, so just first off, this arrived the other day. I love knitting magazine subscriptions. It's like the happiest mail in the world. So I'm sinking back into my couch. That's okay. Vogue Knitting, their fall. Ugh, look at this. This reminds me of Hannah Fettig, actually. That texture. Oh my God. But that is by designer Laura Zucate. I don't know that name. But this is their 35th anniversary issue. Vogue Knitting rebooted in 1981. To make me feel old, that was the year I was born. Oh God, my husband and son are back. Anyway, this has a million things in it I want to make, but my Ravelry... Hi!
Hi! Sorry, I didn't know if you'd be done now, but it's 11:30, so...
I know. Try not to listen to me.
I am not.
Don't.
Good morning.
Don't listen.
I know, I heard you.
Don't listen.
Okay, all right.
Anyway. Vogue Knitting 35th edition, or 35th year issue. It's amazing. And inside of it, I was just looking through their sort of special advertising section of like things they've had throughout the 35 years since their reboot. And look at this. This is what I found. Is that an amazing cardigan? Yes, it is. It is called the Union Jack cardigan by Brandon Mabley. So I immediately went to Ravelry and was like searching for it, and I found nothing under Union Jack cardigan. So I searched for the designer name, Brandon Mabley, and I found it. I am making this. I cannot wait. The pattern itself, I think it was like only $6. It's not a super extensive pattern. It basically just gives you a chart for, like, you just repeat this sort of square chart and then put it all together. It's just a one-page pattern, and I think it's just telling you how to sort of put them together, to piece them together and make a cardigan. So we'll see how it goes. It's fingering weight, but it's held double, so it's more like a heavy DK, maybe a worsted weight. But I really want to make it. But I feel like I have to make Penguono first, so who knows. I hope to have this ready for Rhinebeck, because that would be pretty badass to walk around in. Yeah, and I need to make colorways to sort of match these colors, which one of my Instagram followers fully called me on. She like knew in a heartbeat that that's what I was gonna do, and she was right. And also what arrived in the mail, I've got stuff everywhere, is oh my God, it's just so pretty, of course, because they're just so good at just design, and I just love the patterns they come out with. So I just want to show you, there were two that I had really favorited, and you'd think I would have, here's one. This sweet cardigan. It's very like 1950s to me, or 40s even. But I like in this issue, a lot of their work seems to be one strong color with accents. Right, so this is the other cardigan I really like. Isn't that beautiful? Barbicel by Fiona Alice. Ugh, I just love it. It's like almost not herringbone. What is that pattern called? Anyway, it's beautiful. Love. And I just, it's all fall colors. Oh, it matches my lips perfectly. Oh my God. So I'll just add that onto the 15,000 other things in my Ravelry queue. Can't wait. But let's see. In the meantime, I'm actually working on, guess what's on my needles, right? Whips. I've been working on a pattern from the last pom-pom issue, which is the Festoon Socks, which let me just show you what they'll look like. That's them. I just love the texture inside the cabling. I think that is so beautiful. Ugh. So, I wanted to show you these because I am going to frog them. Not because the pattern's not going well, but because I really don't think the yarn pairs up well with it. So, I'm using the last one I had left from my Christmas in July blank, the Nutcracker on Holiday, which every time I see this, I fall in love with it again. I think it's so pretty. He looks so happy. He's on a beach. But actually it was Allie from Allie Makes podcast. Hi, Allie. She was like, that's basically just Christmas in Australia. So I'm thinking of bringing it back to the shop because I love it. And I don't know, it feels, with fall just around the corner, it feels like, that means like the holidays are just around the corner. I don't know. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I kind of want to bring it back and just have it ready for the holidays. So you'll probably see this back in the shop any day now. Probably today. Sunday. Anyway, so this is what I've been using on the Festoon Socks, which this is what I have. But see how the color from the blank, it's kind of disrupting the pattern of the sock. It's disrupting the cabling, which usually I love knitting from an art blank because it's so exciting seeing the different colors and how they work and how they just come out and what a picture looks like transformed into a pattern. But I think it's disrupting. So I think this sock, I'm just going to frog it all and use this blank for just a vanilla sock. And then redo this I really want these socks. I really want to do this festoon pattern, but do it in just a tonal. So maybe even I'll make a tonal. Oh, wait, no, I have this. This is my iocane powder color. I don't have any in my stash. That's a bummer. So just doing it in a tonal, and that'll show the pattern off so much better.
You're all done escalator toast?
Goosey is crabby. Oh my god. So yeah, this is the last you'll see of these in this art blank. But you'll see them again in a tonal, probably in iocane powder because I really like it in this color. And then I'll use this blank and just make some vanilla socks. Because I love this blank and I love these colors and how they play off each other. I just don't think it's going to work for cabling. So that was one thing I was working on. Anyway, last you saw me, I had fallen down a crochet rabbit hole and I was working on my sampler blanket, all in different crochet stitches. and this is about where it lost me. It was doing like a wave pattern. I don't know. You can't really see it because, yeah, I just sort of used my leftover crazy yarns for it. But there was no good pattern I was finding. Every pattern I found for the wave pattern just seemed really confusing, and none of them seemed to agree on how to do these stitches. So I got frustrated, so I finished that. I did a couple more rows of half double crochet in US terms, and then I just sort of needed a break. Didn't want to really work on it too much more. So I picked up my book, Edward's Imaginarium, from Carrie Lord, and made a little sort of goblin guy. I really like the book. It gives you a basic shape of the head and body as one piece, and then you sort of pick and choose what ears and what legs and arms you want. And I like doing all of those, but I wish she had some instructions on how to sew everything on, because I think she assumed you just know, and I don't think you should ever assume someone just knows if it's sort of marketed for beginners. So I did not know a good way to sew extremities onto a crocheted body. And it's really messy, so I got real frustrated again. So I just finished him up really fast. His arms are essentially sewed into the neck. His ears are on super lopsided. I'm not thrilled with how it came out, but August stole it immediately, and he calls him his bunny. So he's been actually for the past week in August's bed. So I'm glad he's getting some love. Yeah. And that was it for me for crochet. I fully needed a break. And the one thing crocheting this guy and my sampler blanket did was it sort of rebooted my knitting mojo. So it's back, which makes me super happy. So thank you, crochet. You got my knitting mojo back. And I'll show you what I've been working on aside from those socks. I've been working on my Rhinebeck sweater, my Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli. I have a ton done. It's so cool. This is in my Princess Bride Lightning Sand colorway, which is just a really pretty, this lighting is so weird in this room, but it's a really pretty sort of golden brown, but it has tiny flecks of like reddish in it. There's some more on this side that show up. Can you see the little bits of red here and there? Like, doot, doot, doot. It's so hard to show. So yeah, I've been working on this nonstop, and it's a pattern different than any sweater pattern I've ever worked on, because she has you like do a whole panel like this wide in back. And then you just break the yarn and put it aside, and like you keep working almost in pieces for the top, like a whole chunk of the top, until you find it all joins together and you make these amazing shoulder seams that I just love. I love how sort of rough they are. And then you just start knitting in the round, and you keep the seams going, these sort of built-in seams, all along the front and back. And then on the front, when this gets longer, there's going to be pockets on the front that sort of line up with the seams, and I think it's just going to look amazing. And then in the finishing, you come back and you pick up all the sweater stitches, I think, and you make sort of like just a nice ribbed neckline. I'm just so, I love it so much because it's relaxing knitting. It's, other than the seams, it's mostly just stockinette. So you can just sort of chill out and knit it and not have to pay too much attention. But it also has a lot of interest because it has short rows, it has these seams, it just has a lot of things to keep you intrigued I can't wait for the pockets. I can't wait to see how that works out. I can't wait to pick up the neck. I love it. It seems so simple, and it is, but it also has a lot of like complex parts, just complex looking, I guess. Interesting. It has a lot of interest. So I've been loving it. I have been knitting full force on this sweater for like 4 days now. I just love it so much. Ugh. And it's also been a while since I knit a sweater in Goosey sock base. I usually use like cushy or DK sweaters. So it's nice to go back to sock. It's so soft and it's so lightweight. Oh, it's gonna be the best Rhinebeck sweater. I'm so excited about it. This is a little stitch marker. When I first opened my shop, I thought I would make stitch markers too, but I'm not great at it and I don't have the patience. But this is my head wig that I made and I kept just for myself. And then I have the TARDIS. That's from Miss Babs. Love. And my Princess Bride colorway. So I feel like I've got my like 3 just like nerding out loves all in one place. I've got Harry Potter, Doctor Who, Princess Bride. So I'm in heaven. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm already on my second skein, which is actually like I didn't realize when I caked it up. It's from a different batch. So it's ever so slightly lighter, which I kind of am digging. I faded it in a little bit so that it sort of blends down, but you can see it's a little bit lighter towards the bottom. So I kind of love that. And then I'll start with the same batch, darker colors again for the sleeves, and maybe blend that down to a lighter color. Ugh, I just love it so much. I'm really excited. And that's been everything I've been working on. I've just been going crazy with this, and then I'll do Pangbono, I hope, or maybe just another sort of earthy toned sweater, maybe a cardigan. I don't know. I just want to have like 1,000 sweaters for one Rhinebeck weekend. I don't know why. It's not like I'm gonna have an outfit change in the middle of the fields, but it's just exciting. Yeah, that's it. Future knitting, future whips, Pangbono. And who knows, something for Goosey. Eventually I'll get to dyeing up my husband's linen yarn and make him something. Maybe. And until then, I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for stopping by and continuing to stop by if you've been here before, and if you're new, thank you for checking it out. I'm just super appreciative of all you guys and for your time, and yeah, couldn't do it without you. Love you guys. Mwah. Blah, blah, blah.